Do you wanna ride in the backseat of a
On September 7th, 1996, Tupac Shakur was the biggest artist in the world. He was signed to Death Row Records, which was ran by Mary and Suge Knight, and at this time, he was scorching hot, not only in the music business, but also in the entertainment business. Tupac was already a movie star in movies like Juice and Poetic Justice. Tupac also had classic albums at this time, like his album Me Against the World and his double disc album All Eyes on Me. Tupac's double disc album All Eyes on Me will go on to sell 10 million copies, which is outrageous being that he done that before social media era where you had to buy physical CDs. Tupac's last 24 hours will actually start in LA, where he will be joined by his then girlfriend Kadada Jones, his sister, and member of the Outlaws. They will hang out, chill, play video games, and get ready for the trip to Vegas. During the 4-hour drive from LA to Las Vegas, Tupac will make it clear that he did not want to go to Vegas. And actually, they stopped at a gas station and Tupac will buy a gun magazine. They said Tupac was obsessed with guns. Tupac and his crew will arrive in Vegas and check in to the Luxor Hotel, which was Tupac's favorite. They will sit down, they will have some drinks, they will smoke, they will chill, because Tupac wasn't there for play. He actually was there for business, as he was scheduled to not only perform at a club in Vegas called 662, he was also in Vegas to walk Mike Tyson down to the ring performing his new song. After getting checked into the hotel and getting himself settled, Tupac will make his way down to the casino, where he will gamble and take pictures and sign autographs with fans. He was truly happy. He had a lot of money and he was looking forward to the fight. After a day of partying, drinking, smoking, and gambling, living his best life, Tupac will make his way back to his hotel to get ready for the fight. He will link up with Suge Knight, but he will also tell his sister and girlfriend that they will not be going to the fight. Tupac said he didn't want them around that rowdy crowd and environment. It was also said that he felt as if he knew something would happen. Tupac was also advised to wear his bulletproof vest to the boxing fight, but he backed on that because he felt that the weather was too hot in Vegas and it'd make him sweat. But he did chose to wear his medallion and presidential Rolex and his famed ring jewelry set. Jewelry was set to be worth over $100,000. Tupac will make his way over to the MGM Grand to watch the heavyweight fight between Bruce Seldon and Mike Tyson. He will be traveling an entourage full of Death Row Records members. Mike Tyson will go on to get a first-round knockout against Bruce Seldon that night. The fight lasted about a minute and a half, and Tyson put on a clinical flurry of punches. Tupac will celebrate as the crowd roared. There was numerous celebrities in attendance to see Tyson win this fight. He immediately rushed backstage where he was met by Tupac Shakur, his friend, that will hug him and greet him, as Tyson was so proud of his friend. Tupac and Mike Tyson will have a close relationship. It was often said that Tupac felt like he was Mike Tyson, how he can knock out everybody. Tupac was crazy like that. His energy just made Tyson love him so much. Making their way out of the MGM Grand, Tupac Shakur and Death Row entourage will spot Orlando Anderson standing by a pillar waiting for his crew to link up so he can leave also. It will be said that Trayvon Lane, a member of the Looters Park Pirates, will tell Tupac, "Man, that's the guy that jumped me from a chain at the Lakewood Mall a year ago." Tupac would immediately take off and run up on Orlando Anderson, where he'll ask him, "You from South?" Meaning that, is you a Southside Compton Crip? Without even giving Orlando Anderson time to answer the question, Tupac will swing on him, knocking him to the ground. That will be where the Death Row entourage will follow up, where they will stomp out Orlando Anderson on camera in the lobby. This gamble that Tupac made will cause him to crap out, because who he was stomping out was a reputed gang member that was also being investigated for numerous murders at the time. After stomping out Orlando, Tupac and his crew will make their way out of the MGM Grand Casino, because what Tupac done was hot. Not only was the beatdown caught on camera, but Tupac was out pending the trial. So this was not good for Tupac. Making his way out the casino with the rowdy crowd, it was said that Tupac would brag about beating down Orlando Anderson. Everybody will go to separate hotel rooms to get a change of clothes and get fresh for the performance Tupac will have at a club called 662, which was owned by Suge Knight. At this point, Tupac felt like he was on top of the world. He chose to ride to the club in Suge Knight's brand new BMW 745, where they would laugh, smoke blunts. They actually got pulled over because they had the music so loud. And in Vegas, that's saying a lot. They would get a traffic citation, talk to a couple women, and make their way to the club. Orlando Anderson was furious about the beat down, and he wanted revenge that night, and he wanted it now. He will find Tupac and Suge on the Las Vegas Strip, where Tupac will be hanging out the window, hollering at females, telling him to follow him to the 662 club. With Tupac and Suge easily being distracted by the females, that will cause Orlando Anderson and his car to make a U-turn and creep up on Tupac in traffic at Flamingo and Colville, where they will creep up on Tupac's car, get right up on it, and empty the clip all into the car, into Suge and Tupac. Tupac would be shot 4 times, twice in the chest, one in the thigh, and one in the arm. One of the bullets actually went to his right lung, causing it to collapse. Suge Knight will also be grazed once in the head while trying to cover Tupac Shakur. It was said that Tupac was conscious and awake when paramedics arrived to the scene. During my research, I couldn't find anything to back up that claim. Actually, a cop said that when he opened the car door, Tupac just fell out and he was unconscious and barely breathing on the ground. Tupac would be rushed to a hospital where he would live on life support for about a week. The hospital was seeing many visitors that would come to see Tupac plugged up to a machine. Everybody said that he wasn't even conscious during this last week. Tupac's mother would ask Danny Boy, a singer on Death Row, who actually is on the hook of the song I Ain't Mad At You. She would ask him to sing a prayer, and after that prayer, she would make the decision to pull the plug on Tupac. But Tupac would have had issues even if he would have survived. See, at this time of the shooting, Tupac had a lot of legal issues that he was dealing with. The first one is that he was already out on an appeal for a new trial because he was also convicted of sodomy for a case out in New York. He also had issues with his label, as if he was trying to get off Death Row and get away from Suge Knight. And he also had financial issues, as if he wasn't getting paid the amount of money he should from Death Row Records. It was also said the day of the shooting, he had fired David Kenner. David Kenner, a longtime attorney and partner of Death Row Records. It was said that Tupac grew frustrated with his money situation at Death Row and blamed David Kenner because he was double dipping. He was getting a cut of everything. Tupac signing with Death Row Records was the ultimate high risk, high reward situation. Tupac made the biggest gamble of his life on September 7, 1996, and unfortunately he crapped out that night. Running with Suge Knight and the Pyrus, that didn't help the situation either. It only made it worse. And beefing with Bad Boy and Biggie in the East Coast only made the situation worse. Although Tupac didn't live to see his success, his legacy and success will live on forever. He has sold millions of records. He has influenced the culture in hip-hop to this day. The aftermath of Tupac's death will see all parties involved crap out. The first will be Suge Knight, who will be sentenced to 9 years in prison for violating his parole for kicking Orlando Anderson. He will serve 5 years. Orlando Anderson, he had made it until March of 1998, where he was gunned down in similar fashion as Tupac Shakur. A lot of people will go on and say that September 1996 was a cursed day in hip-hop, being that everybody that was involved in this situation would never have the height, success, or fame that they had on that night. It was often a mystique about Tupac's death that would go on for decades. That'll be until in 2015, a DVD will come out entitled Murder Rap, where you will have Orlando Anderson's uncle, Keefy D, make a shocking confession that Orlando Anderson was the shooter. He will be gaining immunity for his cooperation with authorities, which is something that the hood pretty much didn't agree with. This curse would hit Suge Knight the hardest when he would be sentenced to 28 years for running over a music executive by the name of Terry Carter. Suge Knight claimed it was self-defense, but the jury didn't buy that. The trial was very comedy, and you had attorneys getting fired. Suge Knight said he was legally blind. It was just a mess. Tupac will go down as a musical genius. The man was a workaholic. All the work that he did was all before the age of 25, which is unheard of. He was just awarded a star on the Walk of Fame, where they presented his sister with a plaque. If you like this video, then like and subscribe, and I'll bring you more stories like this.